How do you create leverage in your business? We talk about that a lot here in the Expert Called You show. Today we're going to have a different format, same topic, but we're going to approach it a little differently. And it was inspired because I recently sent out an email that you might have seen. I was sharing my experience with my daughter, Riley, who a couple years ago got really sick. And it took quite a long time for us to figure out what the problem was and to figure out how we could heal her. And she is healed right now, so I'll let you know that right off the top. But the journey started with her just waking up one day and she was really nauseous and she couldn't eat. And that started the first doctor visit, which led to the next doctor visit and the next, because no one could figure out what the problem was. We went from gastro to neuro to you name it. And we went from local to traveling out of state to Children's Hospital to here, there, and the other. And fast forward 8 months later, we were still trying to figure this out until we got to the 22nd specialist who was able to figure out what it was and to take care of her. The thing is that those whole 8 months were filled with her as the priority. And when I think about being an entrepreneur like we are, it's really difficult to show up that focused on somebody who needs you, that you love, when you have a business you're running that you are the business. You're the product, you're the salesperson, you're every single thing. And if you're not in it, the business isn't working. In that moment when I was caring for her, I had this opportunity to be fully present and to be the person having to figure it out, like sleuthing and figuring out and researching. And I didn't have to make a choice between being that person fully present doing that or having to go out and figure out how I was going to generate revenue in the business. Because just a couple years before this happened, I had a really traditional expert business. I was selling my time. You guys have heard me talk about this. I was on planes, traveling all over. And if I hadn't made the switch to having a leveraged business that had systematized ways of serving and taking care of our clients, I would have been faced with a choice of either A, being present for her, or B, going out and generating revenue. And if I didn't generate that revenue, I would have lost my business in that 8 months. Fortunately, I didn't have to make that choice because the business had that systematization, had the leverage, had the automation in it that allowed me to be present where I needed to be present. And I think this is part of why I got such a reaction when I sent this email, because so many of us see that vulnerability in our business. And I want to share with you this again today because I want you to think about it. As you're right now looking at your year, you're looking at what you're prioritizing, what you want to create in your business. I want you to really think about creating the kind of leverage in your business that insulates you. It insulates the business from things happening. It insulates your family so that you can be present. And it's really, really critical. And it happens only when you make the time to work on that. So whether that priority for you this year is, I'm going to insulate my revenue by creating an online course that allows me to help people on automation, or I'm going to insulate my business by creating an online funnel that automates the way I find clients, or I'm going to insulate my business by training my team to do these things that are the things that you do right now. Whatever it is, that priority will make a huge difference. And the thing is that when you need that leverage to show up, if you don't have it, it's already too late. You've got to put this in before you need it. And that was really the big lesson for me. And I'm really grateful I had it, because I can't even imagine what that situation would have been like if I didn't have that in place. I might not even be here talking to you right now if that system hadn't been in place. And I want that for you. So when you think about what you're working on, what is the priority to create that kind of true leverage so that what you're building is protected, your family's protected, and you know that you've got everything in place so that you can focus on what's important to you. So I'd love to hear what you see as that for you. Share it in the comments. Thank you guys all for the feedback on the email. And I look forward to all of us building the type of business that can make both an impact and create the freedom that you're looking for. So thanks for tuning in.